3 games now, 0 goals.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Oxford United Review Show on Very Biased Opinions. It is me, Tom, and Ian, again back here to talk about an Oxford United match. Today, it was Portsmouth versus Oxford United.
Well, you're wrong straight away. It was Oxford versus Portsmouth. But there we go. That's the sort of exciting journalism you get here at Very Biased Opinions. And I'm not saying that because I'm bitter and cranky at all, Tom. So Oxford did make some changes. Long's back at right back, which is awesome news. They've rested Goran and Brannigan, played in that holding role, which Henry and Sykes were in midfield. And it was Shodipo started on the wing instead of Barker. And Winnall started up front against Taylor, which is not really that surprising. I think Taylor just needed a little bit of a break from the game, and Winnall scored last time he started in the league, so fair play to him. Hopefully that will carry on. Pompey made changes as well. They've been on a bad run, and probably most surprising is Marquis started on the bench again. I don't know what it is. They always start him on the bench against Oxford. I don't know whether he just runs into a bad run of form before he plays us, but for me, I always think you'd rather play Pompey without him in the team than in it, but nevertheless, it's still a damn good side. The last few times we've played them, it's been bloody attritional, and I'm expecting it to be pretty much the same. But Oxford need to win against one of these big sides. Let's see if they did.
No.
Spoilers, they didn't.
No.
Well, if you're not going to say anything, I'll start this ball rolling. Well, the game finished disappointingly for Oxford. The first home defeat we've had in the league since the side that shall not be named beat us back in November. And it ended Oxford United 0, Portsmouth 1.
Give me a quick rundown of what you just watched.
I watched a very frustrating game from an Oxford United point of view, a game where, not dissimilar to other games we've seen against Portsmouth, where everything seems to be really bloody hard. Oxford just couldn't really get into the game, and a lot of that, and through their own fault and through Portsmouth being quite good at pressing and being very solid at playing against Oxford when they've got the ball and being able to break on them, everything seemed to be really difficult for Oxford to get any momentum going in this game whatsoever. And Portsmouth weren't that much better in the first half, and there were very few chances. Probably Oxford had the better of the chances. I would say there was a good shot from James Henry, which paused McGillivray. I think they were calling him that. I'll go with that. Into a good save. And then Oxford broke again. And it was really Elliot Lee's link up in the first half was pretty good. Got into the box and they just overworked it. Shodipo, him, Lee, Winnall couldn't get shots away, and eventually it was fizzled out for a corner. But a very hard game to watch. Not terrible, like quite absorbing and attritional, but not awful. And it ended up 0-0 at halftime. And you really wouldn't have been shocked if it had ended 0-0 at full time with what you saw in the first half.
But it didn't, did it? Cometh the second half, cometh a good goal by the sound of it. I think it was around the 48th minute.
Yeah, it was a good from a Portsmouth point of view. It was really good. It's Harvey White who's playing his first start, I think, since he's come in from Spurs. I forget the guy who's crossed it in. I think it was Lang who's crossed it into him, and he's just sort of made a really good run, the sort of run you want to see Oxford's midfielders making that they didn't make all game. He's made a really good run in between Moore and Atkinson, and his header's about 14, 15 yards out, but it's really well directed, just using the pace already on the ball. Stevens had no chance, and Pompey draw first blood in this one.
Did we actually see a reaction out of Oxford, though, conceding that goal?
Yeah, you did. For about 10 minutes, I would say, Oxford, suddenly they played with a bit of urgency, oh shit, we're behind. And you saw players actually getting the ball and wanted to drive forward, which was something that was really missing, but we just couldn't create any chances. And Winnall was so isolated in this game. He was coming so deep to get the ball. And you just felt it was an improvement, but you didn't feel we were really testing Pompey from a defensive point of view. And again, they still looked pretty good when they did go forward. And I would say, if you looked at the two strikers in Winnall and Harrison, although Harrison gets a lot of shit from the Pompey fans, he did a damn sight better of holding the ball up and bringing the players into play rather than Winnall did in this game.
Did Oxford get close to scoring at any point before the match ended 1-0?
They did, but right at the very end, there was. I can't think of any really good chances, but then right in injury time, Oxford get a little flurry. For the first time in the game, they win a flick on. Taylor gets the ball into Shadipo, and it's just a little bit too far in front of him. McGillivray's come out again and made a really nice block. And then the ball's kept alive. Barker's put a ball back in. It's a big scramble, but Moore's got his head on it. And again, it's going goal, but McGillivray's made a great save. A save he should make, but an important save at that time of the game. And he's kept it at 1-0 to Pompey. And I'll just say it right now. Well done to Pompey. They deserve to win the game if anybody did out of that tight scramble. They finally beat Oxford United for the first time in a while.
Goran rested for this game. He's tired. He's played a lot of matches in a row. This is just maybe me being picky, but he starts him against Ipswich, but not against Pompey. Like, which match would you rather have fully fit Goran for?
I don't know, if I'm perfectly honest, Tom. I see your point, but I would have wanted him. I would have questioned it if he had rested against Ipswich as well, because I feel we needed him in that game as well. And I don't think Brannigan did. I think Brannigan did a good job in that holding midfield player today. I do see a point. Maybe we lost a bit of Brannigan as that attacking midfielder in this one too. I feel he needed a rest. I honestly do feel he needed a rest, and you had to pick a game. They were both big games, and
I will say
really worked.
Oxford are in this really nice position now where when they rest players, they do put pretty good players in their place. Because what is it? They're down to one injury now, Oxford. McGuane? Yeah,
unfortunately, Marcus McGuane. It looks like he might not be back this season, which is a real blow.
Stodgy performance. This is my last question. It's been a run of stodgy performances now for Oxford United. It has been tough to watch them since the Doncaster match. Just how are you feeling watching this team that was on absolute fire about 5 games ago?
Not confident going into any game now. I wasn't confident Oxford would play well in this one. I mean, a lot of it's to do with that every game against Portsmouth seems to be quite traditional lately. But I just don't think they just start so slowly in matches, and it's becoming to be a real worry. And I don't want to hear any abuse towards the defence in this game, because they defended really well. Portsmouth scored a good goal. Yes, Oxford could have avoided it, but we haven't created any chances. You're probably always going to concede a goal against Pompey, and we're back to the start of the season where we're really struggling to get chances and convert chances. The passing in the Ipswich game and this game, Tom, through midfield is so slow. Oxford just slow the game down. There's nobody trying to break lines and burst through the midfield. It's really frustrating. It's like they pass it, very nice passing along the back four of the midfield, trying to get the ball out to Shadipo or Barker or Lee. But whenever they get it, they've got 2 men around them and they're limited what they can do. The only players I saw in the second half trying to break lines, for the most part, were Atkinson and Moore, bringing the ball out of defence. So it's really
centre backs.
Oxford have got to do a lot better at trying to create chances, especially because Winnall, he'll get shit in this game, but he was so isolated, he barely had a sniff.
Right. I'm just going to say it before I give you a question to lead us out of this program. But again, Portsmouth, probably well worth their win. They did it without Marquis on the pitch. Full credit go to them. They're up to 4th in the table. They're the 3rd highest scorers in the league. Like you said, you're always going to concede. Ian, and I know we talked about this enough time, there's still a long way to go. But coming into a run of tough fixtures, how are you feeling about how Oxford are going to do over the next month or so?
Obviously not as confident as I was a couple of games ago. This is a bit of a reality shock, a shot in the arm, a bit of a bring down to earth. Just remember, though, Oxford fans, before anybody writes season over, we're not good enough for all that stuff. As Tom's just said, there's plenty of games to go. There's lots of twists and turns to go in this one. I think it's really important how the side bounces back now against MK Dons on Saturday. We need an improved performance, and really we do need to get something on the board on that one. I mean, we might not win the game, but we really don't want to lose that game and go 2 games or start like a losing run sort of thing, because we will start to lose momentum. But the main thing is I want to see Oxford start the game a lot better. I want to see Oxford start the game strongly. I want to see them really impose themselves on this MK Don side, which is going to be difficult because they're a good team. But I'm not massively confident that we're going to get something out of it. No.
Right, Ian, thank you for that. Everyone who's watching, thank you very much for liking, commenting, subscribing. Please, if you're enjoying the show, check us out on Patreon, give us some support. Check us out tomorrow. Premier League predictions come out tomorrow. The day after that, League One predictions. The day after that, it's the Oxford United preview show. I think Ian wants to say one quick thing about before we go.
Just remember, Oxford fans, we do need you. We need you to send your predictions videos in for the MK Dons game, and you can't all back them to lose. Some of you have got to put them down to win. But obviously, the more videos we get, the better. We'll show them all on the channel. You can be a part of it, and just send them. The details are on the screen, but the best way to send it is by email at verybiasedopinions@gmail.com.
Thank you for watching. We will see you hopefully tomorrow.